Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here to do another sample video to try and chip down that giant pile of Kindle samples that I have that will never, ever, ever get smaller. Never. So, what is the book that we're doing today? Well, the random book list gave me this one. This is Penric's Demon by Lois McMaster Bujold. I know the name. I think I've heard of this before. I know I've heard of the author before. I haven't read any of her stuff, I don't think. The cover doesn't give us a whole lot. You know, I do love to judge books by covers. The cover here doesn't give us a whole lot other than there's a castle in a lovely, idyllic kind of landscape. Great. So I know very little of the book from the cover, which is fantastic. I don't know who Penric is, don't know who the demon is. I do know it is a novella in the world of the five gods, however. That's a nice clue. The world of the five gods. Interested in finding out who they are and what their business is. But that's all I've got right now. So why don't I read the sample and then I'll get back to you with what I think. All right, stick around. All right, Penric's Demon. Now this is a fairly short sample, so I can't go at great lengths about it. But for a short sample, it really does kind of set up. I think it does a really good job actually as a sample of kind of presenting you with here's what the book is. You want to buy it or not? Go ahead. So what we have is, we have Penric, our title character. He's a young man, he's 19 years old, comes from kind of a middling, mediocre, noble family, right? He's got his older brother who died of a fever. You've got his father who died of an infection from a bad tooth, and an older brother who is who's sort of the head of the household, but is also an itinerant gambler, and really is not doing very well for the family. So a lot of kind of mundane family tragedy. So we're not starting this book as kind of the son of a noble family that has fallen into great disrepair and tragedy and a curse upon the family. No, it's stuff that's kind of mundane and kind of relatable to us as readers. Penric is with his remaining family and is going to a wedding, or actually a betrothal ceremony. And on the way, he sees that there is this carriage. There's this woman who's on the ground. She seems to be very ill. And he gets off his horse and goes and tries to help her and help her out, see if she's okay, because he's a good guy. And unfortunately, she dies. And in the process of her dying, something goes from her to him. Something is transferred. He's knocked unconscious. He gets taken away and he's in bed for a little while. And when he wakes up, he realizes that there is an entity living within him that now has to be dealt with. This is the quest. The betrothal, the whole thing is not happening. Penric is going to be taken off to see some professionals about the creature, the entity that now coexists with him, presumably the titular Penric's demon. And that's it. Yeah, I think it does the job, actually, of a Kindle sample in a way that a lot of Kindle samples don't do, in that it immediately presents you with who are the characters, what is the setting, what's going on, what is the problem, and what do they have to do to solve it, and then stops, so that if I want to know what happened to Penric and his little traveling companion, I have to buy the whole book. And apparently, if the front cover is to be believed, it is part of a larger set of novels, or at least novellas. Which I would be happy to read. I like it. I enjoyed it. And I can kind of imagine if I were to predict where this book were to go, it seems to me Penric has an entity living within him that he did not ask for, that he does not want, that he does not understand, which may or may not be a serious problem. Some of the people who come to visit him after he wakes up really imply that it could be a very serious problem. And that's why it is imperative that they take him to people who know what this sort of thing is, and they get that demon out of him. What I'm kind of hoping is that at least for a little while, it's kind of like a tense kind of buddy comedy travel, right? Where they realize that they have to exist with each other, but they don't have to like each other, that kind of thing. And eventually I'm kind of hoping that the people they go to deal with this, it actually turns out that that's going to be a bigger problem than the two of them staying together. I kind of hope that the two of them together actually really is a good thing and is a necessary thing. And so at some point, Penric has gone from sort of worrying about this demon existing within him to how do I keep this thing with me when everybody around me wants it out, right? And I hope that's kind of how the story goes. I have no idea if that's how the story goes, but that's kind of what I'm imagining and projecting forward. It is perfectly okay to try and predict the story from the early outset. It's kind of fun. Write it down. Just don't get too upset if it doesn't go where you think it's going to go. I know a lot of people these days, they watch TV or they watch movies and they think, oh, I think this should happen, or I think, oh, these two characters should be together, and they get very upset when that doesn't happen. Look, it's not your story, right? Somebody else is writing this and creating it. If it doesn't go the way you want, fine. But it should still be good, I think. I think the writing was good, very clear, very easy to read, got no problems. So, would I buy Penric's Demon, the whole thing, and read it? Absolutely. Looks like a fun book. So I look forward to doing that at some point. If you've read Penric's Demon and you want to chime in, I would love to hear from you. Like I said, this is a short video because it was a short sample. And there doesn't yet seem to be any sort of really heavy, ponderous themes going on. Maybe later, I don't know. So if you've read it and you want to chime in, please do so. Put them in the comments. I would love to hear them. And I guess I'll be seeing you for the next sample video, right? Right? I'm going to see you there. All right. Thank you very much for stopping by. See you next time.